This lecture is about Marie Clay's Record of Oral Language by Dr. So-mi Cham. Record of Oral Language is a language assessment instrument. This assessment helps practicing teachers to observe and understand changes in young children's oral language. It is administered one-to-one. The teacher asks the child to repeat sets of sentences in 3 levels. After the assessment is administered, the analysis of the results focuses on syntactic structures and morphological forms, also possibly the child's knowledge of certain words. This assessment is appropriate for ages 4 to 7 for English monolingual children. It also can be administered for dual language learning children at ages 5 and above, after they have had an introductory period in English language classes. Record of oral language results can be used for multiple purposes. One can use the results to select children for more intensive attention to oral language learning. Teachers can use the results to check children's oral language development. The results from different times can show you change over time. The results can help teachers to determine what types of sentences the child needs more instructional support than others. Focus should not be on a child's passing or failing. Why does the record of oral language use sentence repetition? Clay, the author of this assessment, said, hence a child's ability to repeat sentences can give a more generous assessment of his ability to handle grammatical structure than is given by the language he himself produces. While we can examine a child's oral language development by analyzing the child's natural speech production without prompts, repeating tests can allow us to see how children process some more advanced language structures that they might not use in their expressive language. For instance, some sentences with complex syntax might not be used frequently by preschoolers. However, asking them to repeat those sentences, let us see how they handle those sentences. More specifically, sentence repetition can check if the child simply omits phrases, words, or parts of words, substitutes phrases, words, or parts of words, expands the sentence by adding phrases or words, and transposes some parts of a sentence. Now I will explain how you administer record of oral language. Before administration, find a quiet place and establish rapport with the child using some small talk. Then begin by using the simple familiarization procedure. You will ask the child to repeat 3 practice items as follows. Okay, I would like you to say some sentences for me. Here is the first one. Tom is running to school.
Tom is running to school.
Good. Now say, I want Bill to come.
I want Bill to come.
Good. Now say, what is the time?
What is the time?
Okay, now let's try more. In this segment, you could confirm that the child knows and performs the task for the assessment. Proceed to the main assessment sentences next. Before you administer those level sentences, get your scoring sheets ready. The scoring sheets are from page 19 to page 24 in Marie Clay's Record of Oral Language book. You can photocopy these pages for your classroom use. As you can see in the first page of the scoring sheets, the beginning level is set as 2. Then the next page shows level 1, and the final page shows level 3. Level 1 is the easiest level, and level 3 is the hardest level. The reason you start from level 2 is because you may not need to administer level 1 for some advanced children. So again, always begin at level 2 on page 19 and administer all 14 sentences in level 2. As you can see the scoring sheet on this slide, administer first part 1 from A to G, then administer part 2 from A to G. Each sentence the child repeats score either 0 or 1. Score 1 point is for each sentence correctly repeated. Put check mark under each word correctly repeated. If any part of the child's repetition is different from the given sentence, write down any deviated parts from the original sentence, then score 0 point. For instance, type A sentence in the level 2 part 1, the child's repetition said, "That big dog over there is my brother," which is different from the original sentence, "That big dog over there is going to be my brother's." Going to be was omitted. Brothers was substituted with brother. You can see how this is checked on the scoring sheet on the slide. Another example, in type C sentence in the level 2 part 1, the child transposed two parts of the sentence. The child said, "The top of the tree the bird flew to," instead of "the bird flew to the top of the tree," and this repetition received 0. In English, word order is an important grammatical aspect. If you change orders of certain words in a sentence, the sentence can become grammatically incorrect or nonsense, although some cases can still mean the same as original. No matter how, all given sentences need to be repeated exactly the same way. Before you proceed to the next pages, write down the number of total correct answers in level 2 to determine which level you will proceed to. If the child scores 0 to 2 in level 2, administer all level 1 sentences on page 20 and do not administer level 3. Level 3 might be too difficult for the child. If the child scores 3 to 11 in level 2, administer all level 1 sentences on page 20. Then administer all level 3 sentences on page 21. If the child scores 12 or more in level 2, credit child 14 for level 1 without administering it. Level 1 might be too easy and boring to them. Then administer all level 3 sentences on page 21. After administering all sentences for the child, write down totals for all levels that are administered and grand total on page 21. Children scoring below 13 out of 42 might need some special help. You can use the results of record of oral language for instructional support. Analyze the record, look for any patterning errors. See if the child omits words, substitute words, or expand the sentences. Analyze the sentence types to check what types the child is struggling with. There are 7 different types of sentences in each level from type A to type G. For each type, there are 6 sentences total in this assessment. Check which type exhibits the lowest score. That type is what you might want to focus on to provide adequate instructional support for the child. See also if the child did not know meaning of certain words and phrases. After knowing the child's needs, support the child by providing the model. Say the sentence or structure before the child is expected to read a newly selected book. Adjust the classroom language. Perhaps it can be a good idea to use simpler sentences. Begin at the level of sentences the child can handle. Generate some practice sentences for the type that the child is struggling with. Check on progress that the child is making. Then introduce more difficult sentences in a systematic manner once the child is becoming more confident with the sentence types that he or she was struggling with. From the next slide, I will explain all sentence types from A to G that are used in the record of oral language items. There are 7 different sentence types used in record of oral language. Each level 2 sets of the 7 types and total 6 sets in the entire record of oral language, as there are 3 levels. A type A sentence consists of subject, be verb, and additional construction. A type B sentence consists of subject, verb, and direct object. A type C sentence consists of subject, verb, and additional construction. A type D sentence consists of subject, verb, indirect object, and direct object. A type E sentence consists of subject, verb, and noun clause. A type F sentence consists of adverbs such as here and there, verb, and subject. A type G sentence consists of subject, verb, object, and additional construction. Here's a type A sentence example. Again, a type A sentence consists of subject, be verb, and additional construction. In level 2, there are 2 type A sentences as you can see on this slide. In the type A sentence of level 2 part 1 on the left, that big dog over there is a subject. Although dog is the main subject, other words like that, big, over there are modifiers. Is going to be is a verb. My brothers is an additional construction. You can see the same composition in the type A sentence of level 2 part 2 on the right. A type B sentence consists of subject, verb, and direct object. In level 2, there are 2 type B sentences as you can see on this slide. In the type B sentence of part 1 on the left, the boy by the pond is the subject part. Was sailing is the verb part. His boat is the direct object. You can see the same composition in the type B sentence of level 2 part 2 on the right. A type C sentence consists of subject, verb, and additional construction. In level 2, there are 2 type C sentences as you can see on this slide. In the type C sentence of part 1 on the left, the bird is the subject, flew is the verb, to the top of the tree is the additional construction. You can see the same composition in the type C sentence of level 2 part 2 on the right. A type D sentence consists of subject, verb, indirect object, and direct object. In level 2, there are 2 type D sentences as you can see on this slide. In the type D sentence of part 1 on the left, Mary is the subject, gave is the verb, him is the indirect object, a truck is the direct object. For his birthday is grammatically not an essential part of this sentence, although it is an adverbial phrase that elaborates the meaning. You can see the same composition in the type D sentence of level 2 part 2 on the right. A type E sentence consists of subject, verb, and noun clause. In level 2, there are 2 type E sentences as you can see on this slide. In the type E sentence of part 1 on the left, you is the subject, see is the verb. The noun clause, which consists of another set of subject and verb, is what is climbing up the wall. As this is an interrogative form, Ken is located in the beginning of the sentence. Anyhow, the main structure of a type E sentence consists of subject, verb, and noun clause. You can see the same composition in the type E sentence of level 2 part 2 on the right. A type F sentence consists of adverbs such as here and there, verb, and subject. In this type, the usual order of subject and verb is reversed. In level 2, there are 2 type F sentences as you can see on this slide. In the type F sentence of part 1 on the left, here is the adverb. After this adverb, a verb comes is located before the subject, a big elephant. The rest part is an adverbial phrase that elaborates the meaning. You can see the same composition in the type F sentence of level 2 part 2 on the right. A type G sentence consists of subject, verb, object, and additional construction. In level 2, there are 2 type G sentences as you can see on this slide. In the type G sentence of part 1 on the left, my brother is the subject, turned is the verb, the television is the object, up very loud is the additional information. You can see the same composition in the type G sentence of level 2 part 2 on the right. So far, we have looked at the features of sentence types. Now, by creating a table to organize the scores by sentence type, you can check which sentence types the child needs more instructional support. For instance, a child's results on this slide show type E with the lowest score needs more work, whereas type A and type B are the strongest. The table will look different with a different child's results. Use the results for your instructional purposes. As mentioned earlier in this video, you can prepare for some additional practice sentences for the types that need more support. When you select a picture book for read alouds, you can look for some of those sentence types in advance. You might want to point them out with the child during reading, or you might help the child review those sentences after reading. Talking about those sentence types before reading can be also a good idea. So far, this lecture has explained record of oral language. Hope you can use this assessment for many ways to support children's oral language development. Thanks for watching.